Last time. They spun around. The door they'd just come through had slammed shut. Junpei grabbed hold of it with both hands and pulled with all his strength. Ah! Damn it! It looks like it locks automatically. Hello friends and meisters, welcome back to more 999. From last we left off, we had just entered the study and got ourselves into a predicament by being locked in and having to skip yet again. So without further ado, let's not waste our time and look for this key card. There are piles of crap everywhere. Man, this place is a mess. It's so messy, I don't know where to start. Some of this crap looks familiar. I think a lot of these are parts of the puzzles we've solved in the other rooms. If that's true then, the room could be Zero's laboratory. Perhaps Zero would shut himself in this room to devise the machines and puzzles. He'd need to see his plan come to fruition. Well, yeah, probably. Hey Junpei, isn't this the nautical table? Yeah, I feel like I've seen this before. New material has been added to our file screen. Okay, let's see what that is. There's indeed a nautical table. We actually saw one in the captain's area. That makes sense that goes over there. Alright, well, we'll keep it in mind for now. Bound to play into something in here. Look, Junpei, the rest of here looks like Elvis's face! Yeah, no, I don't see it. How exciting. Rust, yes. I can see some sort of big machine on the other side of all this crap. A pipe, great! Yeah, we can bludgeon people with it. I think these fans are for ventilation. They're probably there to circulate air. Well, yeah, you don't want to be dead in a stuffy room because of lack of oxygen. There's some old computer monitors on the desk. I don't see CRT monitors that much anymore. I haven't seen one in years, to be honest with you. Gosh, this desk is really big and it feels real sturdy. Yeah, it seems pretty heavy duty. I suppose it belongs to whoever uses this room, wouldn't you say? Well, yeah, that would make sense. A toolbox? Oh, okay, no, that's probably an important piece of paper. There's a piece of paper in here. What have you found in there, Junpei? It looks like somebody was working on a solution. It's got some handwriting on it, too. New material's been added to the file screen. 9-panel cross... Oh, okay. Telling us how to solve a puzzle of sorts. Base plus A? Okay. And what are you? There's a control panel in front of this big screen here. I wonder if any of these buttons do anything. There's something on the screen now. What's this? There are 15 cells here with numbers and letters in them. Let me see that. Ah, I see. So whenever you touch a cell, the ones next to it turn on or off. You just gotta use that to make the all cells on the right and the bottom green. Okay. Hey, Junpei, I found this piece of paper under that thing. You want to take a look at it? You think this might have something to do with the puzzle? It's a piece of paper Clover gave me. There are a bunch of numbers and letters connected by equal signs on it. Just like she said, this is probably related to the puzzle on the screen somehow. Thanks, Clover. This really helps. Alright, let's go back and try this again. Anyways, it just looks like I need to make all the cells all green. Yes, we do. Oh, this chart is handy. I already see what's going on here. Gonna make them in the row like that other sheet we had said equal up to this apparent letter, which would be 21, and that's what that equals. Okay. Well, let's play around with this a bit here and see what we get. Well, now it's blank. You know what? That might actually be the best idea, because then we can work from a clean slate. Because we're back to that step where we have the 21 there. Now we have what we need for A. Question is, which one do we hit from here? Okay, we're 2 there. Ah, there we go. There we go. We did it.
Did it, Junpei! You're so smart!
You seem to have done an excellent job and solved the puzzle. That's what I would have expected of you, Junpei.
Hey, come on, you're embarrassing me. It's not like I'm the protagonist or anything.
Whoa, whoa, don't get cocky, kid. We don't got time for that. Look at this. Check out the right edge of the control panel. The lid slid open and something came out. Oh, something did? Cross emblem. I'll take the stuff where I can get it. What are you?
There's something written on this piece of paper. Looks like we got 3 sheets of the stuff.
New material has been added to the file screen. We've already solved one puzzle. That was all.
There are piles of crap everywhere. Some pretty impressive mess.
We're trying to search through every one of these. We're going to be at it till the cows come home. Well, it doesn't seem too bad. We won't have to go bring them in ourselves then. Don't you get smart with me, kid.
How about we deal with this later, guys? Maybe we should try doing something, you know, more promising or productive and not fighting like idiots.
Like, what are you? The metal shutter looks pretty sturdy. It's framed with black and yellow warning stripes.
I've got a bad feeling about this. I think we're gonna find a relaxing sunny garden on the other side of that.
No, probably not. Oh, come on. What the hell are you so scared of? Let me handle this. Damn it. Damn thing won't budge. I have to admit, I'm very curious about what may be hiding on the other side. And we don't know what it is, though. Well, maybe this has something to do with it. Yes, it probably has something directly to do with that nautical table. If the puzzle in the captain's quarters has anything to do, or anything similar to it. Yeah, I think it is, too.
Junpei, it looks like there's a compass on there. Now I get it. What do you mean?
I guess you weren't there, Clover, but I saw the puzzle like this one in the wheelhouse. I think I just need to do the same thing here.
The same thing?
The most important part is the nautical table we just found. I just have to match up the directions on the compass with the lines on the nautical table. I used the steering wheel in the wheelhouse, but this time I think I'm going to use this wheel attached to the side here.
Okay then, show me now.
Of course. Maybe I ought to run through the instructions. This looks like it'll probably work the same way as the steering wheel in the wheelhouse. Well, that's good. If I just touch the direction I want it to turn to, then the compass will turn that direction. And I just gotta press the stop button when the compass is pointing where I want it to. That's something that will happen if I can do it right. Alright, let's do this! Okay, so south then. Step. There we go. We need west. Southeast. Northeast. Or northeast, northeast. Oop, it's that way. Okay, I did hit it. I was scared there. I thought I didn't hit it for a second. That would have sucked. East. North. East? Okay, that sounds good. And or bad. Yay, didn't explode.
Yeah, you did it, Junpei. Good boy, who's a good boy?
Knock it off, I'm not a dog. Hey, we don't have time for screwing around right now. Check out the right side of the monitor. It just kind of slid open and something came out.
Oh yeah, I heard a noise too. You know that big box in the hall by the exit? I think it made a noise. Like something unlocking, you know?
A noise, huh? Well, I better take this and go look then. Noise usually means something useful. There's also another one of those terminals, but you know what? We'll leave that for now. The metal shutter looks pretty sturdy, and it's framed with black and yellow warning stripes. Alright, let's open it! Oh, holy shit! Ah, not the coffin! That's right. It lies beyond the forest of knowledge beneath the navel of the ship, I remember, or something like that. Oh, please don't be this thing. This is pretty damn creepy. There's a coffin in there. A coffin! A coffin! Oh man, does Seven think? Yeah, he's all pale. He's thinking the same thing I am. No way! Could this be? I'm sorry, but what's going on? It's a coffin! I wonder if there's a vampire in it. Oh, well, no, there's a mummy in it. If what I'm thinking is right and what Seven thinks is right, there's a mummy in there. That doesn't melt, and it's encased in ice. Anyways, right, I guess Clover and Snake don't know the story. Man, I can't bring myself to tell them. Well, at any rate, let's have a look around. There's a metal plaque on the coffin, Snake's touching it. All ice. Ah, 2 machines. Holy shit! Zoinks! Man, this is serious. Oh well, let's open it, shall we? Clover, if you could give me a hand. Okay, I got it! Ready? 3, 2, 1. Ah! No luck, it doesn't seem to be ready to open. Yeah, but it's not like it's screwed shut or something. Yes, I believe it's locked in some other way. Hey, Seven, do you think you can open it up with your huge superhuman strength? No, what's wrong? I think I'll just pass on this one, okay? What the heck? Very well, we'll just have to give up on opening the coffin for now. Let's take a look around the room a little more, shall we? Yep, that's what I was thinking too. Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the forest of knowledge beneath the navel of the gigantic. Is that actually true? Well, that fits the description. For now, let's leave it behind the door. Go away. I want to go look at that other puzzle, but I should probably... Oh, no, don't need to do that. What I want to do is check the file screen here. Okay. There's Morse code of different letters involved. Right, there you are. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see what happens when I... Whoa! Well, now we've got something on the screen at least. Huh? What is this? Oh, wait a minute. I saw something like this when I figured out the Morse code puzzle back in the communications office. Morse code? Yeah, the dots on here look like dits for the Morse code. There's 2 dots on the first line, 4 on the second, and 1 on the last. Ah, I'm afraid I don't understand. Oh, he can't really see them now, can he? Well, perhaps you should give it a shot anyway. Alright, I'll try. Before I do that, though, maybe I ought to run through the instructions. If I just tap the button, it'll enter a dit. If I hold the button down, it'll enter a da. Once we enter our answer, it'll automatically determine if it was correct answer or not. I can also switch through the Morse code sheets I got by touching the 3 icons over on the right. Alright, let's do this. Over on the right. Oh, okay. The other one used all. And if each of these Morse code lines equal a letter, you can probably assume... Yes, you know what? Let's try it then. We'll try entering ice. What was the last one? E? My hunch correct? It was! I see, so you seem to have solved the puzzle, Junpei. Excellent work. The answer was ice. How did you know? All I had to do was listen to the sounds the machine made. After that, it was trivial. Matter to decode them. Ah, yes. I believe I've heard a noise from somewhere on the right of the device after you solved the puzzle. It sounded rather like something like a sliding open. Do you see anything that could have made that noise?
Yeah, that's true.
Ah, yes. One more thing. I heard a sound from behind the shutter. Perhaps the coffin is unlocked now.
What?
Well, that's another hunch I had. Looks like they're all correct. And we're good to go, that means. Oh, yeah, right. We already did that puzzle. We need to go over here. Okay, please don't be a creepy-ass mummy and just be something we need.
Alright, fine, I'll open it. Okay, Junpei, you can do this. It's just a box. It's just a box.
Oh, holy shit, this is a coffin. This is going to be something horrible in there. I just know it. I know it. Okay, okay, deep breaths. Here we go. Oh, thank God there's no mummy in there.
Ah! Oh, God. Oh, man, there's nobody in there. Shit, can't believe I was scared of something like that. What do you mean, nobody? Are you expecting somebody to be in there? Ah, it's a long story. Ask Junpei about it sometime.
Yeah, I'd be confused, too. Well, just like Seven said, there's nobody in there. No body, either. There is something in there, though. Well, two somethings, actually.
What is that?
A key and a plate. There are two somethings on the bottom of the coffin.
Looks like we got a plate with an emblem on it, and Neptune key! Yes, we finally found it! Now we can get through the hallway!
That's correct, Clover. But we need to get out of this room first, you know?
Yeah, I know! Okay, let's get the hell out of this room as quickly as possible!
I don't have any objections to that. You go, girl. We'll do it. Yes. It's really important, though, so I'll keep it in my pocket for now. As far as the other thing goes, well, we'll keep that ready. It has to be part of another puzzle. That's the only other thing I can think of. Oh, wow. We haven't even examined these. There are 3 monitors here. The power's on, but there's nothing on any of the screens. The keyboard. Let's just tap a few keys and see if we can wake this thing up. And no dice, right? No, damn, no dice. Okay.
It's so small! I wonder what it is!
I've got no idea. Okay.
Alright, I've put the emblems into the 4 indentations on the desk, but... Huh, nothing's happening. Wait, what's Snake doing?
I feel symbols engraved just above each of the indentations. On the upper left is the steering wheel symbol. On the upper right, the cross symbol. On the bottom left, the mysterious circle symbol. And lastly, the waffle pattern is engraved near the bottom right indentation. Additionally, each symbol seems to have been given a number. 1 steering wheel, 2 cross, 3 mysterious circle, and 4 waffle patterns. Perhaps we need to insert the emblems in that order.
That order, huh? Well, let's do it.
Okay, so it's steering wheel, cross, weird circle, and waffles.
Let's just drop the emblem of the steering wheel in here. Whoa! Well, now I've got something on the screen. Monitors, at least. Oh, what's that? It looks like some kind of puzzle. What if these are the rules? Here, I'll read them to you. When you touch a numbered area, the area will be selected and will turn blue. To indicate this, like a numbered ball after selecting an area will cause the ball to be moved to that area. However, you cannot move the red balls. You can only move 3 to 5 balls into a single area. Press the check button once you have moved all the balls, except for the red ones, which you cannot move. As you move the balls in the area, let's match the number for that area. That's it.
Well, that's good to know. But, I still don't really get it. Whatever, like they say, practice makes perfects. Let's give it a shot. Perfects. I had to say it a little sassily there. Don't you mean practice makes perfect? Junpei, don't you know basic English?
Hey, let's you solve the next one, then you can make fun of me.
You know what, that is fair. That is quite fair. So we need to do a 6 and a 3. What do we need then? Can we drag them? Okay, no, we just click them. Okay. No, go back. We need to make this a 6. A total of 6 anyways, the digital root. One needs to be a 3. Stick you, and you. Okay. Now with this one. 1, 2, 4, 5 then. Music to my ears.
Okay, this is it, right? But nothing's happening.
There are still 3 more indentations empty. I imagine something will happen when they are filled. Doesn't that seem likely? Well, it does. Yeah, so I think the next one was the cross? Yeah, let's try the cross.
Okay, let's put in the emblem of the cross.
The Holy Order of the Cross.
Hey, Junpei, something just showed up on the screen. This puzzle sure looks like a lot. Or like the last one. Yeah, but there's more of those red balls who can't move. The numbers for each area are different too. It looks like it's got the same rules as the last one though. You sure you don't want to double check that? No, I'll be fine. If I get confused, I can just look at the screen over there, right? Anyways, like they say, picture's worth 1,000 words.
Words?
No, it's words. Let's give it a shot.
Isn't that a picture is worth 1,000 words? Junpei, English, please.
Hey, shut it. At least I'm trying, all right?
This game likes to troll the characters. Okay, 2, 3. I'm thinking for 1. You know what? Double click this, or double check this more closely. Okay, we should be good with that. Now we just gotta put the other numbers in here. Easy peasy.
That's awesome, Junpei. There's only 2 left now. You can do it.
Well, I'd like to think I can. If I don't, we're kind of dead.
Okay, let's put the emblem, or well, let's put in the emblem of the secret code. Damn, this puzzle looks like a lot like the last one. Looks like the rules are the same though. Don't you think you should double check it? Come on, this is the 3rd time I've done this. I'll be fine. So there's
If you can't think of anything clever, please don't strain yourself. You might hurt something.
Shut up! Just give me a break, alright? I'll think of something.
Whether he thinks of the witty banter or not, he still gets scolded. Okay, so this time we got 2 7s. Yeah. Oh, no, we don't need you there. We want to try this. Music to my ears, like I said. Excellent work, Junpei. We've only got 1 left. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Don't go towards the light, actually. I think that's a bad thing. Oh, wait, that's only when you're dying. Okay, last one.
Let's see what happens when I put the emblem of the coffin in this indentation. This is the 4th one. This puzzle looks a lot like the last couple. I think this is probably the last one.
Once we solve this puzzle, I'm sure something will happen. Hopefully the monitors don't explode.
All right. I'll solve it in no time.
No witty joke? No snarky comment from Snake? Oh, that's a little different. I'm seeing a possibility for 1 digital root here. Okay. Oh, no, I didn't need to click that one. Yes, I know. Stop it. Okay. That worked then. Whatever.
Huh? Where did that noise come from? Underneath the keyboard? Way to go, Junpei! You answer all the questions! Damn, Junpei! Good job! Hey, did you hear something just now?
Yes, I heard that as well. From the bottom left corner of the desk, I believe. You and your impeccable hearing.
A picture?
In the drawer was a single picture. He picked it up. It was a photograph of 4 men. Oh my god, that's Ace, the 9th man. Well, that's no surprise. The guy from the cabin? The captain's cabin, the dead one. Huh. Oh my. If they're all dead, that must mean that the last guy in the picture could possibly be the one that was killed instead of Snake. That would make sense. Otherwise, it's too big a coincidence. Involuntarily, Junpei's eyebrows shot up. He'd seen 3 of them before. On the right was a man with a mustache. The same man they found murdered in the captain's quarters. That would make a lot more sense. He'd been wearing the Zero Blaze suit when they found him. Second from the left was a man wearing glasses and a doctor's coat. The long-haired guy in the back we're not sure on, but we do have our suspicions. He had gone into door 5 alone and met an unpleasant end. Finally, the man on the very left. The man in the pinstripe suit. Oh man, that's Ace. Oh man, it's Ace. Yeah, I guess it is. No doubt about it. Seven and Clover had come to peer over Junpei's shoulders. But what did it mean? What was Ace doing in the picture? Perhaps more importantly, why were the 9th man and a Cap in it as well? As Junpei looked closer, he noticed the expression on each man's face. Their smile suggested they were close, at least to some degree. But why? How? What was the relationship between these 4 men? Snake's voice broke in Junpei's thoughts. You say Ace is in that picture? Yeah, it doesn't look like it was taken recently, though. Ace, the 9th man, Cap, all look about 10 years younger. And so the 9th man and the man you found murdered in the captain's quarters are also on that picture? Yeah. Is there anyone else? Or are there only 3 people in the picture? I'm afraid I can't see after all. No, there's one more guy. He's got kind of long hair. He looks smart, but a little cold. He's the only one I don't recognize. Snake knit his eyebrows. What's the date of the photograph? It doesn't have one. Did you look on the back? The back? Yes, the reverse, the other side, Junpei. Junpei flipped the picture over. There it was. To be precise, it wasn't a date, but it was certainly significant. He read it out loud so that Snake would not be left in the dark. Oh, God. Praying for the success of the Nonary project with Nijisaki Kubuta and Musa Shido. Nonary project, Nijisaki Kubuta, Musa Shido. Junpei immediately flipped the picture back over. That meant that the 4 men in the picture had run the Nonary game 9 years ago. Only Hongo had not been mentioned on the back when Junpei felt meant he had written those words himself. But what surprised Junpei was not this revelation, but the fact it felt nothing like a revelation. It felt obvious. What we did know from past endings, that their true identities did not come as a surprise, was what Junpei found most surprising. Why then? Why wasn't he surprised? Junpei had just discovered that Ace ran the Nonary game project before. Or the Nonary project before. He felt no spark of excitement or surprise, nothing. Well, we'll just blame the morphogenic field, but we really know it's our previous playthroughs. It was almost as if he'd already known. Ah, of course. I understand now. Junpei looked over at Snake. In his own confusion, he had missed the dark look on the other man's face. Ace was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceutical. He was the one who invented the game 9 years ago. He was Gentaro Hongo. Ace is Hongo? Even as he spoke, Junpei felt as though he'd already known. It was as if someone had whispered into his head that, yes, of course Ace was Hongo. I had my suspicions from the beginning. Their voices were familiar, too familiar, to be a coincidence. I could never forget his voice. It was the voice of the devil. I couldn't be sure, though. After all, I had no way to check. I certainly couldn't ask him. If I had known, however, I would never have told you. Zero made it quite clear what would happen if I did.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea! I didn't know that Ace was Hongo!
Oh yes, I suppose you wouldn't have. 9 years ago, you were in Building Q in Nevada. But Hongo was in the Gigantic with us.
I know! That's why I didn't know what Hongo looked like. But why? Why didn't you tell me? I mean, I'm your sister, right? You could have told me.
I'm sorry. I apologize for keeping this from you. But if I told you, Clover, you would have told everyone else. If you did, I would have been forced to tell them about what happened 9 years ago. I had to prevent that. Clover and Snake's conversation wasn't of particular interest to Junpei. He still couldn't make sense of his strange feelings of knowledge. He was trying to organize his thoughts when he heard Seven's voice.
Hey, Junpei, you think I could borrow that picture for a second?
He had no reason to say no, so Junpei handed the picture over. Seven stared at the picture and began to mutter the 4 names of the project leaders over and over to himself.
Hongo, Kubuta, Nijisaki, Musashido.
His brow was furrowed and his face was flushed.
Hongo, Kubuta, Nijisaki, Musashido.
He chanted their names to himself, pacing back and forth across the floor.
Hongo, Kubuta, Nijisaki, Musashido.
Seven shouldn't have known their names. After all, he hadn't been there when Junpei and the Snake had spoken of them in the library. Oh, is this part of his backstory that we heard about a little earlier? But as Junpei watched him pace, it was clear that he did know them. Hey, Seven, do you...
Shut it! Just be quiet.
His eyes were red, and Junpei could see sweat beginning to bead on his forehead.
I'm this close to remembering, this close.
He was sweating heavily now, but his lips were dry.
Hongo, Kabuta, Nijisaki, Musashido, Cradle Pharmaceutical, Nonary Project.
Then he stopped. Seven sat down the picture and looked at the red light near his feet. His eyes narrowed. Then suddenly his eyes went wide, and he shot up straight.
Shit!
What?
What's wrong? Holy shit! This is nuts!
What's nuts?
I remember.
Remember what?
Everything.
Everything?
Yeah, I remember all of it. My memory's back. I remember what happened before I got snatched.
Seven's voice was filled with excitement. Shock and excitement had frozen Junpei in place, along with Snake and Clover.
Let me tell you what happened.
Seven hastily drew a shaking hand across his mouth and began to speak.
Like Snake said, Ace is Hongo. From the right, the other 3 are Musashido, Nijisaki, and Kabuta. Musashido was the man with the cash. Nijisaki was Hongo's right-hand man. And Kabuta developed the actual technical details of the experiments.
Realization began to dawn on Junpei, along with a pressing question. How do you know all this?
Come on, man, I told you. I finally got my memory back.
No, that's not what I mean. I'm trying to ask you why you knew all this stuff in the first place before you forget. Seven rubbed the scar on his chin.
You really want to know?
Of course.
Me too.
Snake was the only one who didn't voice any sort of agreement. Looked at Junpei as if he was simply waiting to see where Seven's sudden recovery might take them.
This is going to take a while. Hell, it'd probably take me a good 3 days to tell you. Everything.
But we don't have 3 days. Just give us a short version, alright?
Short version, huh?
The big man pulled off his hat and scratched his head. He made a face and put his hat back on.
Alright, fine. I'll give it a shot. No promises, though.
Champagne Clover nodded earnestly. Seven was a lone wolf detective who valued his own code over the rules, doing what was right over what you were told. A true man. That was why, on that fateful day, he'd gone with his gut and gone to the wharf at night on a slim lead. It was 9 years ago. The wharf had been dark and cold and foreboding. At the time, he'd been investigating a spat of kidnappings. All of them children. They'd all had one thing in common, a history of visits to one particular hospital. The hospital had been under the management of Cradle Pharmaceutical, and Seven's investigation had turned up evidence that Cradle had been involved in the kidnappings. After a little persuasion, he managed to finally get a real lead from someone inside Cradle Pharmaceutical. They told him that night, a ship was set to take children from where they were being held while a large passenger liner docked offshore. Seven had, of course, gone to the wharf. In the darkness, he searched the harbor until at last he found the ship he was looking for. There were a number of human shapes moving near the ship. There were men in black suits, many of them were carrying large bags. The bags? There was something about the way they moved as they were carried. There could be no mistake, they were human beings inside those bags. He had moved before he even realized he was going to. Out of the shadows he came, his gun already in his hand. He heard the words, "Don't move!" But they weren't his. He felt Mello touch the back of his head. "Drop your gun," came the cold voice from behind. "I could kill you right now if it would mean nothing at all. I need only tie and anchor to your feet, and I doubt anyone will see you for perhaps a week or so. Is that what you'd like? A fish here to be thankful for the meal?" With the words, he felt the cold metal thing behind him press against his skull. Slowly, Seven crouched down and laid his gun on the ground. Then suddenly, he felt a sharp pain in his neck. A needle. Was it some sort of drug? Huh. As he was thinking about that, Seven felt his face hit the cold concrete beneath him. He could feel the chill of it seeping into him.
Ah, damn it! Shit, my head hurts.
Seven woke to find himself laying on a hard floor. He twisted his neck to peer around the room.
Where am I?
There was a small, shabby bed and a dirty sink. A toilet with no stall or privacy of any sort. As a cop, it was a place Seven had seen all too often.
I'm in a cell, huh?
Opposite the toilet was a door set into the wall. Seven struggled to his feet and hobbled towards it. He gave the door a good shove, then another, then tried pulling it. Nothing? It didn't open. Well, that was about what he'd expected. It wasn't like that someone would put him in a cell only to leave it unlocked. He threw himself against the door a few times, but to no avail.
I knew it!
Seven grumbled to himself as he moved back towards the bed. He sat down. He sat there for a very long time, just how long he wasn't sure. Last he began to nod off, and had nearly fallen asleep when he was roused by a distant voice.
This is 9.
The voice was far away, very far away. Seven couldn't understand what it was saying. Nevertheless, it was a voice, and a high one, most likely a child. His eyes shot open.
Hurry, Kang.
As he listened, he could pick out several different, distinct voices. Or at least 5 or 6, possibly more. Where were the voices coming from? He looked around the room frantically. Perhaps the door? No, that wasn't it. Where'd it go? Was it coming from the left? Was it coming from under the bed? Grab the bed and flip it with ease. Well, he is a mountain of a man. A veritable mountain. There it was. There was a hole for ventilation in the wall where the bed had been, covered with a metal grate. Seven lay down on his stomach and peered through the grate. He couldn't see anything. It was too dark. Not that he'd found it, however. There could be no doubt. There was a source of the voices. For a moment he was confused. Why were there children nearby? And he remembered what the man from Cradle Pharmaceutical had told him. how a ship would take the kidnapped children from the wharf to a waiting passenger liner out in the ocean. Was Seven on that passenger liner? It didn't matter. What mattered was that he find a way to the children. Seven looked at the middle grate. Could he fit through that hole? He stuck his fingers through the grate and grabbed hold of it. Ah! 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 With the strength of a mountain, he yanked it off, right? Ha! Ha! Yeah, how'd you like that, you son of a bitch? The dark square sat open before him. Seven wiped the sweat from his forehead and crawled inside. The first section of the duct was small. Seven could do little more than wriggle around on his belly. After a time, however, it got a little larger. Even someone as large as Seven was able to crawl along it on his hands and knees. He felt like he'd grown from an inchworm to an insect. Not much of an improvement, but it was better than nothing. He began to wonder where the duct would take him when... There was a thunderous sound like a massive metal door slamming shut. Then he heard a voice. Warning! Warning! Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat, emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. The voice wasn't harsh, but something about the calm with which it spoke made it even more terrifying. Seven wasn't sure what it meant, but incinerator certainly didn't sound good. Then, almost as if to confirm his suspicions, he heard a chorus of young voices. No! Help me! Many of the voices were simply screaming in terror mixed with one another to create a single horrifying howl. Damn it! What the hell's going on here? Seven began to crawl along the duct as fast as his arms and legs would carry him. The noise he made was tremendous, but he was long past caring. A few minutes later, a metal door appeared on the left side of the duct. Seven could hear the screams of the children from the other side of it. This was it! He grabbed hold of the handle and threw the door open. The old metal gave way easily before his onslaught. What the hell is this place? The room he was looking out into had a dome for a ceiling, and 9 equally sized walls. At the top of the dome was an upside-down funnel. It looked almost like a chimney. Then he looked down. Oh my god, I know that. I know that stiletto. Or silhouette. The children he'd been looking for. They stared up at Seven, their cries silenced for a moment by surprise and fear. Whether they were scared off of the room or him, Seven couldn't tell. It was certainly possible they were frightened of both. Not that I could blame them, running into him. Even Seven knows he isn't the best looking. Not that I could blame him, running into a mug like this when they've already scared shitless. He permitted himself a short snort of a laugh, then turned to the children again. Don't worry, kids. I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. Not a single one of them moved. Except for one. It was a boy slightly older than the others in a private school uniform. Who the hell are you? As he spoke, he took a tentative step forward and gave Seven a suspicious look. I'm a detective here to rescue you. The moment the words came out of his mouth, he could see the children relax. How are you going to help us? The boy in the uniform asked. Where's the exit? Seven responded. There isn't one. The doors we came in through won't open, and the door over there. He cut himself off, considered something, and then continued. Anyways, there's no point. We can't all get out of here. If we don't get out of here, we're going to be burned to death. Burned to death? Can't you hear it? The voice said. The incinerator is going to start up soon. Oh no. The voice spoke again. Automatic incineration will take place in 15 minutes. 15 minutes. He only had 15 minutes. Seven looked back down at the children. It was a good 20 or 30 feet to the floor. There's no way he could pull the children up. That was when he had an idea. Wait right here! I'm gonna be right back! What? Where is he going? Are you just gonna leave us here? Seven did his best to smile, what he felt was a reassuring smile. Don't worry, alright? I'll be back, I promise. So just stay calm and wait right there, got it? He didn't wait to hear them respond. There wasn't time. He ran as fast as a man could run on his hands and knees. Before long, he was back in his cell. He was back where he had started, but he had a plan. There was something there that he needed. As soon as it was finished, he dove back into the duct and took off towards the incinerator. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. Leaning out of the door in the duct, Seven lowered the rope he'd brought to the floor of the incinerator. Ah, he made it himself. Back in the cell, he'd torn the bed sheets into strips and then tied them together to make a rope. Like Seven himself, it wasn't very attractive, but it got the job done. Alright, just tie that around yourself, okay? I'll pull you up one at a time. Right, huh? Wait a sec. That was when he noticed. There were more of you before. Where'd the rest of you go? The boy in the uniform answered. I let them go ahead. We opened the number 9 door and they left. What? You're telling me you opened that door? That's what I said. And what the hell are you doing here? We couldn't go with them. Why not? Look, the only people who can go through the number door. Automatic incineration will take place in 5 minutes. The voice reverberated against the walls of the room. Look, that can wait all right. Just get us out of here. All right. Seven grabbed a hold of the rope. First up was a girl with a ponytail. Next was the girl with a red necktie, followed by a boy in a jacket who said he'd climb up on his own. The last up was the boy in the uniform. Like the boy in the jacket, he climbed up the rope himself. He looked scrawny from above, but his looks belied impressive strength. He scaled the rope quickly, but as he was almost to Seven, they heard the sound of someone knocking. All eyes turned towards the door. Cut into it was a thick square window. On the other side, they could see a furious face. God damn it, what's going on here? Why is the room empty? Where the hell are the other fucking kids? The door opened and a man stepped in. Looking half mad with fury, Seven recognized his face. He'd seen him many times in photos during an investigation. The man's name was Gentoro Hongo, the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceutical. Hongo saw the boy hanging from the rope. Hurrah! He roared like an animal and lunged for the rope. Hurry! I know! The boy in the uniform resumed his scramble up the rope. You son of a bitch! Get back here, you little shit! He was 15 feet away, 10. The moment he came within arm's reach, Seven grabbed the boy in the uniform. With a jerk, he tossed him into the duct behind him. Ah, no! Hongo had lost any semblance of control. His face no longer looked human. It was twisted into something terrifying, the visage of a devil, or a ferocious monster. Seven quickly reeled in his rope, leaving a furious Hongo on the floor of the room, and crawled back into the duct. You fucking bastard, you won't get away with this! How dare you compromise this experiment? What experiment? Seven wondered. Automatic incineration will take place in 1 minute. Hey old man, what the hell are you doing? Hurry up! It was the boy in the uniform. Seven tossed Hongo a tentative salute and pulled the door closed. Or a taunting salute. There was no point in going back to Seven's cell, so they continued down the duct into the other direction. After 30 feet or so, another duct met theirs, heading down. They nodded at one another, then turned and slid down the duct. A short time later, they crawled out of the duct to find themselves in a narrow hallway. There was a door on each side of it. Whereas one on the left was a normal double door, but the one on the right was a familiar thick metal door with black and yellow stripes and a device next to the wall. On the door was a plate that read incinerator. And that's where we were? Yeah, Hongo might still be there. It looked like it's been shut off though. Wait, what? If he's still in there? Yeah, that's not good. Ah! Seven grunted. Fine, the other door. Go into the other door, hurry! The children began to run, with Seven following closely behind. On the other side of the door was a large spiral staircase. "Run!" Seven shouted. They didn't need to be told twice. Up and up and up they went. Their feet pounded against the steps, and their arms churned the air. Round and round they went, like a human tornado. The stairway kept going. Oh my god, he barely fits through that stairway. They passed a couple of rooms that looked to be dance halls when the boy in the uniform spoke. "Ha! Ha! Something's up! Connie's not catching up to us!" Connie? My kid's sister! The girl with the red necktie! Connie, that was strange. Seven didn't remember seeing that name in the list of children who'd gone missing. "Hey!" Or, "Hey, Akane!" He cupped his hands around his mouth and yelled. There was no response. Maybe we outran her. Suddenly the boy in the uniform stopped short. Seven stopped too, as did the boy in the jacket and the ponytailed girl. When did we do that? Well, we passed a couple big rooms on the way here. Maybe she took a rest in one of them. No, that's impossible. Sorry, Grandpa, you keep going. I gotta go look for her downstairs. He turned to go. Hey, kid, wait! God damn it, I said wait! The boy didn't even seem to hear him. Fuck! Seven spun around and yelled to the boy in the jacket and the girl with the ponytail. I'm going after him! You two keep on going, alright? You got it! The girl nodded and began to run up the stairs. The boy, however... I'm going with you. Seven didn't have time to argue. Instead, he simply nodded and took off down the stairs. The boy in the jacket followed. They ran all the way to the bottom floor, calling for her. Connie was nowhere to be found. God damn it, where the hell did she go? The boy in the uniform couldn't hide his frustration. Help me, somebody, help me. Help me, somebody help me. It was a girl's voice. Connie! The boy in the uniform threw open the door and leapt into the hall that faced the incinerator. Seven and the boy in the jacket followed. Seven couldn't believe what he saw. Hongo had grabbed Akane by the arm and was doing his utmost to force her into the incinerator. Come on, god damn it, move! I don't want to go! Let me go! Please let go of me! She had planted her feet squarely on the floor and was doing her best to get away, but Hongo was much larger than she was. She wasn't going to win. Akane, the boy in the uniform, shouted. Your art of anger and charged towards Hongo. You came back! Ah, you're too late, idiot. Hongo lifted Akane bodily from her feet and threw her struggling into the incinerator. Ah! Before Seven or the boy in the uniform could react, Hongo leapt through the door after her. They saw him land inside. And then the door slammed shut with the finality of a great steel guillotine. The three of them ran to the door. They pulled and strained, trying desperately to get it to open. Ah! Fuck, it's no use! The goddamn thing won't move an inch! The boy in the uniform cried out and began to slam his fists against the door. He hit it with such force, Seven feared his knuckles would shatter from the impact. Akane, are you okay? Help me! Her voice was muffled by the door, but the sheer terror in it was unmistakable. What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here. Where's Hongo? He went out the other door. What? Warning, warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, it's Seven. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, he's so pissed. Look at that vein. It's the same damn thing. Are you there, Akane? Oh, are you there? Akane's voice sounded close to tears. Yeah, we're here. Just hang on, all right? We're gonna figure out a way to save you. If she could have seen the bloodless face of the boy in the uniform, his words would have seemed like little more than a sick joke. Automatic incineration will take place in 17 minutes. Please help me. I'm really scared. I don't want to die. Please, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. It's gonna be alright. I'll figure something out, I promise. I promise, okay? You hear me? I promise. You could hear her muffled sobs from the other side of the door. The boy in the uniform tightened his fists. His knuckles were bloodless white. Someone could tell that he was holding back tears of his own. It was silent. All they could hear was the creaking of the boat as it shifted in the water. They waited and waited, but Seven didn't continue. Oh, what happened then? Junpei couldn't wait any longer. He had to know. Seven looked at the floor. Come on, man. Put yourself in my shoes. It doesn't end good. You think I want to remember that? Then, yeah. Shit. If I'd known it was going to be like this, I almost wish I hadn't remembered. Seven shook his head. There was something Junpei had to know. Hey, are you sure? Ah! Look, I don't want to ask this either, but there's something I don't get. So if you could just tell me, did that girl Akane really... Seven stared straight ahead at nothing. Yeah, I'm sure. There wasn't anything we could do. After a while, the countdown ended. We heard something burning. Even after the fire stopped, they couldn't move. Seven and the boy in the jacket simply stood where they were, frozen. The boy in the uniform collapsed, falling to the floor in a jumble of limbs like a puppet whose strings had been cut. A few more minutes passed. The door opened. The boy in the uniform ran in, stumbling over his own feet. Seven and the boy in the jacket followed, still too numb to speak. The air in the incinerator was hot. Every breath made Seven's lungs feel like they were on fire. The air shimmered of heat. In the middle of the room, beneath the waves of heat, there it lay. The boy in the uniform walked towards it, his legs shaking violently. Seven couldn't see his face, but his body looked somehow empty. Finally, he reached it. The boy collapsed to his knees, his legs no longer able to support him. Ah! Junpei felt a cold lump form in the pit of his stomach. A feeling of sickening anticipation washed over him. He could feel his body shivering. He desperately did not want to know the answer he feared he already knew. But he had to ask. He had to know for sure. Can I ask you one more thing? What? The girl, Akane. What was her last name? What does it matter to you? Just tell me, okay? Please. Seven looked at Junpei curiously and ran his tongue quickly over his dry lips. Kurashiki. Her name was Akane Kurashiki. Oh, fuck. Well, that makes a bunch of things click. Something inside of Junpei stopped. He had no more words left. And no more... Junpei left. He was just a shell of flesh and bone. Seven turned to Snake. You were there that day, weren't you? The docket and the jacket. That was you, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Or I was. You are correct, detective. Junpei's mind was blank, withdrawn from the world. Somewhere far away, he could hear Seven and Snake talking. Don't misunderstand me. I told you before how Zero threatened me. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't say anything about what happened 9 years ago. So you're saying you're not working for Zero, right? Of course not. Glover, what about you? Hey, come on! You really think I'm working with Zero? I told you before, you idiot! I was in Nevada in Building Q. I didn't hear that a detective rescued the kids on the boat, but I didn't know it was you. Her surprise seemed to be genuine. Seven regarded Clover for a moment and rubbed his chin thoughtfully. Well, I guess I believe you. Clover nodded. Alright, let me ask you another question. He stuck his hands into his pockets and took a few steps. Then he stopped and turned to face them again. Santa's real name is Awe Kurashiki. Oh, shit. Okay, that's what I thought. He's Akane's brother. You know that? No, I didn't. Did you? Well, yes, I knew Awe Kurashiki was her brother, but I didn't know he was Santa, at least not from the beginning. 9 years ago, he was in the middle of puberty. His voice is entirely different now. I'm ashamed to say that even my exceptional hearing wasn't able to make that connection. As such, I had no reason to think Santa was Awe. When did you figure it out? A short time ago, Clover told me that Santa might have been one of the subjects of the initial experiment. When she told me that, I had a feeling. Santa's Awe? Akane Kuroshiki's June's brother? That spark caught flame in Junpei's leaden mind, and the fog began to clear. Like an engine beginning to turn, images and thoughts began to coalesce in his mind, coming faster and faster, forming bigger images, bigger thoughts. Junpei blinked. He was back. There's still a lot we don't know. I mean, like, a lot. There's one thing we can say we know. What's that? The body we found in the shower room had to be Nijisaki, dressed up to look like Snake. What? Come on, man. What kind of detective are you? You didn't figure that out already? Hey, go easy on me, man. I just got my memory back, alright? Cut me some slack. Well, if he is, the 3 murders make sense then, don't they? Yeah, that's right. Murder. Kobuta blew himself up. That was murder too. So why did these murders take place? If Junpei is correct and the body in the shower room was Nijisaki's, that means all the people who were murdered were involved for the creation of the Nonary project. Kobuta, the person who conducted the actual experiments. Nijisaki, Hongo's assistant. Musashido, the man who financed the project. Well, it makes sense.
I mean, this was all just revenge? Santa Zero is getting revenge for the death of his sister?
No, I don't think Santa actually murdered anyone. In fact, Junpei didn't think he knew. He couldn't explain why or how, but he had no doubt that Santa had killed no one. Perhaps the madness of the last several hours was finally driving him insane, but Junpei had ceased to be surprised at his son's knowledge, and he had even begun to accept it. If I'm right, then it's not hard to figure out who the next victim's gonna be, is it? I'm pretty sure I don't have to tell you. Snake, Clover, Seven all nodded. The next target will be Gentaro Hongo.
The person who planned the Nonary project.
In other words, Ace. Well, explains why he isn't there now. There's a moment of silence. It really does explain why Santa didn't leave him behind. Santa brought him with them. And then the room shook. From far away, they heard the sudden rush of water. Wow, what the hell's going on here? And the room shook. From far away, they heard the sudden rush of water. It must be 6 a.m. Our time is up. Shit! Come on, we need to get out of here. How? In the drawer that held the picture was a key card. Junpei grabbed it. I'm betting this sucker opens the exit. Come on, let's go. Oh, thank God, thank you. Let's get out of here. Wait, wasn't there a key? Alright, you know, he tucked the key away. We're good there. We need to go this way. Alright, let's just swipe this card and... Oh God, we're out. Junpei, look! It's unlocked! Yeah! Now we can get back to the library. Hurry up, Junpei. We don't have time. Let's go. Alright, let's go. He's not wrong at all. We need to run. You found it. The door opened and they stumbled into the library. The shaking had stopped, but they knew the danger hadn't passed. They ran across the hallway straight for the large metal door. Next to the door was the Uranus card reader. They slid the keycard through, and the door rumbled open. Out of the library into the hallway they ran. At the end of the hallway was a door. Junpei reached into his pocket to pull out the key as he ran towards it. The key put into the lock was the Neptune key. He turned it. The lock clicked. As one, they shoved the door open and poured through it. In front of them was another great metal door. Above it was a metal plaque. Oh. God, it's reading the incinerator. It read incinerator. So this is the incinerator. This is the first time I've seen it from this side, but yeah, I think so. There ought to be a lever near the door. Yeah, right here. Junpei ran up to it. Pull that and the door should open. Got it! As he spoke, he pulled the lever. The mortar in the door groaned as it slowly ground open. There was no time to waste. As soon as the door had opened, far enough to admit them, all four dashed through. Then suddenly, there before them, were the four who they'd parted from earlier. Ace and Lotus stood in front of the number 9 door. Santa was curled in a ball against the wall of the incinerator, holding his stomach. And then there was June. She sat slumped against the wall, exhausted. What had happened? Junpei ran towards June. He skidded to a stop in front of her and knelt down. What's wrong? Are you okay? Her face was pale and her lips dry. When she spoke, he could barely hear her. Jumpy, you came to get me. Of course I did. I made a promise. I'm so glad you're here. So glad. She mumbled the same words over and over weakly. Junpei could feel his heart breaking. Hey, what happened to you? I'm fine. I just fainted. I wasn't feeling very good. I'm feeling a lot better now, though. Are you sure? Yes. I just need to rest a little longer. I'm sure I'll be fine. You shouldn't worry about me. She was looking towards Santa. Junpei turned to look as well. Santa grimaced, his face contorted in pain. Someone grabbed him by the collar and roared at him. Hey! Where is it? Where's the gun? You hide it somewhere! Ugh. Despite himself, a grunt of pain escaped Santa's lips as Seven shook him. I don't have it. I got sucker punched and they took the gun. What? Who took it? What, isn't that obvious? I took the gun. Oh, for fuck's sakes, this again? Ace! He did indeed have the revolver in his hand. It was pressed against Lotus's temple. Ace had her pinned to him with the other arm, and she was shaking visibly. Her fiery attitude was gone, replaced by fear. She didn't dare speak. There was sweat on her forehead, and when her eyes weren't flicking up to the gun pressed against her, they seemed to desperately want to say something. What the hell do you think you're doing, Ace? Or maybe I should say, Kentaro Hongo, CEO of Cradle Pharmaceutical. Seven's deep baritone rumble shook the walls. Ace sneered. You have me at a disadvantage, and I don't like that. You know me, but I don't know you. Do you have any idea how much I've suffered? Can you even begin to understand my pain? The pain of prosopagnosia, right? Junpei's voice was casual, or at least it was trying to be. Heh, another irritating insect. And how do you know that, Junpei couldn't say, he just knew. Another unexplainable mystery. No matter. If you don't want to answer it, makes no difference to me. This is a waste of time anyways. It's time for me to go. Behind Ace, Junpei could see the red. It was placed in the small indentation on the wall. Quickly, Ace placed his hand on the scanner. It beeped, and he forced Lotus's hand onto it as well. Then at last, he reached into the pocket of his own jacket. He pulled something out and pressed it against the panel. The third asterisk appeared on the red. The thing he had used for the final verification was a bracelet with the number 9. It had belonged to the first man to die, Kubuta. 1 + 8 + 9 = 18, yep, that would work. You know that much as well? I believe I've won this game. His smirk made Junpei's blood boil. I've had quite a time playing with you. I must thank Zero, I suppose. Wait, something about the way he'd spoken. Did Ace not know who Zero was? Junpei's eyes flicked towards Santa. He hadn't moved since they entered the room. Santa was still holding his stomach and groaning as if in immense pain. Junpei wasn't sure if it was real pain, but he wasn't sure if it wasn't either. What the hell did Santa have up his sleeve this time? At any rate, this game ends now. I will escape and the rest of you will have a slightly less pleasant ending. I suggest you enjoy your final moments. Goodbye. Wait! Ace, of course, paid no heed to Seven's request and laid hold of the lever on the red. With a sickening sense of finality, pulled it.